We are entering some very fancy times in Trackmania scene nowadays. In the last week, one of the craziest upsets, at least this year, happened. And already in this year, we have some crazy upsets going in Trackmania scene. We have the TMGL win from WorksJP Numalabs, Epos having that crazy Racer Summit land win, Challenge taking the win in the ZRT Cup qualifier, or the Ascension qualifier as it's now called. For additional context, I will kind of give you a better understanding what was the event and everything like that. So in most communities, there are like these key or main noteworthy events in each region or everything like that. There are also like the Roto Regionals, which is the official circuit there, but there's always some kind of elder circuit or tournament that in some specific scene or region is very, very noteworthy. So for example, Americas has the American Open, or now it's called PATC. Baltic scene has BTL, or the Baltic League, and Baltic Trackmania Championship. Finnish scene has the Finnish Trackmania League. UK Ireland has the BIPC. Middle East and Africa scene has MIATC and everything like that. And in the Asian Oceanic scene, there is the AOTC. AOTC was originally one of the very first events I kind of helped to kickstart the Asia Ost community together with Resero originally, but then afterwards, since I became way too much overwhelmed with many tournaments and everything like that, I gave him the 100% keys to basically run the event, and nowadays it's treated as the tournaments in Asian Oceanic scene. Even with all the regionals and everything like that, as regionals was a very good way for the players to get goods, but in reality, like the one or the one you really want to take it win to kind of see if you're actually the best is the AOTC, or the Asian Oceanic Trackmania Championship. So this tournament has already been hosted since 2021. Back in the days it was hosted every season, but now it's only hosted once a year. So it's a solo tournament to see who is the best player in the region. And now with the whole Roto regional developments, a lot of players have gotten pretty good. So the level is looking pretty stacked. And with that, Mada, who is the TMGL player and the TMGL winner, had decided, okay, maybe this is the time to take part, because he had seen how some of the Asia or APAC teams have been taking part and playing in the All-Stars events, and so might as well give a shot here as well. But there is another player who is also taking part here, and that is Min from Korea. I think to give a general idea, Trackmania is not really that big in Korea. Like the main Korean Discord has only like 80 members, and most of them are just talking about TMNF. And most of the players who you see representing the Korea flag in Trackmania 2020 are either people who have selected the profile for memes, or they're a fan of K-pop or something like that. And it's actually very, very rare to find an actual Korean player. Also, what doesn't help is that the whole Trackmania scene is very Anglo-centric and very Franco-centric. So all the Koreans who want to try out the game, they can't really be involved, especially because the in-game setting for Korean is not really that well translated. And it kind of creates a bit of confusion from the people, from what I have spoken with at least, from the Korean scene. But despite that, there is one player who has been quite noteworthy from this region, and it's Min 2002. Min has been playing Trackmania for a very long while already. However, most of the time he was only doing very short tracks, and usually the people who just hunt these short tech tracks are just stuck in their tech bubble and don't really excel in the modern kind of competitive theme. Min has been even playing in like Nations Cup in mid-2010s, but has been very on-off with how does the scene look like and what does he play and everything like that. But last year he did play in one of his first AOTCs. And there he was a bit struggling, especially getting used to the new surfaces. He managed to take a win there, but then the scene was not so developed and it didn't feel as special as the one that happened just recently. So now, as mentioned, as there's new regional scenes, a lot of people are like getting more involved from the Asian Oceania scene, international scene. You have so many people who had like Roto regionals that kind of gave them exposure to other scenes and got way more elevated level with that within this local regional and in the AOTC as a whole. And on top of that, since you had Mother playing, like it's just bizarre to think that anyone who does not play tournaments, at least often, could actually have a chance in this kind of tournament. And on top of that, Min is still doing his military service. Because in Korea, every able-bodied man who is at least 18 plus has to do military service for around 18 or months. And he had started it last year because there was nothing much to do, so he was like, oh, might as well do it now. But they are allowed to take a couple of like vacations. And this guy takes the vacation on the week when the tournament happens. So while the maps were out for like a month or whatever for the time to prepare, he has just 1 week to prepare for the tournament, and he not only prepares properly, he gets world record on every single map, and not only showing that he's a good time attacker, as most of the times we just hunt tech tracks or just hunt campaigns, and the first place are very good pace-wise, but usually when it comes to rounds, they're very, very shaky. And I think the title speaks for itself. Not only he beats all the players who had like the World Tour regionals, were one of the most dominant players in the region, and even were started to become very notable even internationally, like the Tridents teams, the J-Spag or Spark from Antic, who was very dominant in stage 1, even beat Solary during the All-Stars event. And of course Mada you had here as well. Like, it's just so bizarre. And Min won it in the end, just ahead of Spark and J-Spag. That shows that the Spark and J-Spag, who were one of the best players in the APAC region from the World Tour regionals, were also showing that these guys can play, but Min was just on a whole new level. His pace was so much tier above, it's actually ridiculous. I highly suggest checking out the VODs of the grand final, because it was amazing. In general, it's such an exciting times recently in Trackmania, despite we have like Rotor kinda on its ending time. We have such a lengthy World Championship ahead of us. There's the Ascension, there's the XP Evo. I myself am like doing an event in Lithuania as well, together with Cam in October. It's exciting times, and I'm very, very curious on what will happen. Also, if you are watching and you're from the Asia scene, these guys really need more tournaments to play in, because these guys are really, really want to have something to compete on, and they don't have that many tournaments as other scenes. So that's something to mention as well. Anyway, I'm very, very excited of what happened. I think it's super sick that there's something like this happening, and would love to see some more Korean players also tackling the competitive scene and everything like that. I know that people like Hardtag from the Korean scene have been trying to translate a lot of this stuff to their local scenes. I will add a link to the Korean Discord if you are from Korea to check it out, because those guys will really want to see some new faces there. And also the Asia's Discord, where most of the core community handles, but nowadays it's a bit more spread out, where the India players are more on India Discord, Indonesia ones are in Indonesia one, and stuff like that. But yeah, anyway, exciting times happening. Very interested in what will happen soon as well, with all the events and things like that going on. Anyway, that's gonna be it for me today. Thank you all for watching, and see y'all later. Bye-bye.
Okay, Ming, what? What are these splits? He's so fast, how? It's just ridiculous. This isn't even a bad run. They're just so fast. I could be in the check one at different angles too. Oh, okay, he just drove world record in warm-up. Oh my god. He just drove a world record in the warm-up. Oh, this guy. He's quick.